Joffrey, Renly, Robb Stark, they're all thieves. They'll bend the knee or I'll destroy them.
A narrow sea of blue and white stretched down the causeway as far as the eye could see. The famous Knights of the Vale had finally arrived, much slower than the scouts had anticipated. That was good. It meant the cragmen had done what was asked of them. They looked jaded and worn as they gradually crawled towards the walls of Sevenstar. Davos Redguard made his way to the battlements above the gatehouse. Estian, it's time, come. Lord Rack, also the Master of Coin of Andalia, had been sent to Sevenstar by the king to oversee the transaction that was sure to take place. No one would pass the moat without first paying its toll. Remember what his grace said, we're to take this up jump bitch for every last coin we can, laughed Davos. I'll do the talking, Estian. I've had the great pleasure of meeting her ladyship before. Estian nodded in agreement. Davos had grown up in the Vale of Arryn in his youth, before moving north to offer his sword and service to the then king Aengus Sevenstar. This had been in the days of the infamous Mad Falcon King, before he was brought down by his own Lord Bannerman. Now his sister ruled. She wasn't mad, yet from what Davos remembered of her, she was still just as proud, impatient, rude and ambitious as her predecessor. As he looked out from the gatehouse, he saw many banners he recognised of great houses. Royce, Hunter, Templeton, Redfort, Belmore and hundreds more. He noted there was none from House Corbury, however. Above all, though, was the blue falcon of House Arryn. The Arryn Queen, surrounded by her falcon knights, made her way to the front and centre of the vast host, their light blue cloaks flapping in the wind. We wish for passage through your lands to the north, she said loudly and sternly. Davos waited for a moment, staring at the Queen, just long enough for a sense of awkwardness to set in. Aye, my lady, we've had word from King Ambrose. You will be allowed to pass through once you pay the toll. Considering the size of your host, it'll be quite the price, I'm afraid, Davos said, a smug smile upon his face. This is the Queen of the Vale. You should call her your grace, snapped one of the Falcon guards. Aye, the Queen of the Vale, said Davos. You see, though, the thing is, past this wall is Andalian soil. The only queen here is Queen Renny Sevenstar, the maiden. The Queen threw Davos a look that would have scared even a giant away. So I say again, my lady, should you wish to enter Andalia, you must pay our toll, or you are free to find another way to the north. Though it pains me to say, to do that you'd have to sail around the entire continent, Davos said with a sarcastic yet sympathetic tone. I have 25,000 loyal knights at my back, sir, who would instantly storm these walls at my command, the Queen snapped back. Davos chuckled at that and raised a hand. Instantly the battlements filled with crossbowmen. You're welcome to try that, my lady, yet I'm afraid then you would have 25,000 corpses at your back, and by the moon's turn you'd have 30,000 angry Andal Northmen coming ashore in the Vale. The Queen looked in disgust as she tightened her grip upon her reins. Your Grace, if I may, Estian Rack chose this moment to finally speak up. King Ambrose has wrote to you many times offering the most generous of terms. He's offered you trade deals, alliance, he offered you the hand of his son and heir, daughters, nephews and nieces in marriage, all of which would have come with quite the handsome dowry. He wanted nothing but friendship between our two great Andal kingdoms, yet you scorned him, spitting upon all of his generous offers. You wounded our king's pride. Had you accepted, you would have been free to pass through Sevenstar as friends of Andalia. Instead, you must pay our price should you wish to pass. Estian smiled and bowed a half-hearted curtsy. The Queen sat silent for a moment. Fine, your king can have his marriage and we will be on our way. Davos laughed out loud. I'm afraid that ship has sailed, your grace, said Estian. Only the gold price will see you through these walls now, I'm afraid. We will require several of your lords to remain here as our most honoured guests too. You may collect them on your way back south. If there's one thing we've learnt from the First Men, it's how important the ancient custom of the guest right is. They shall enjoy every comfort of Andalia, Estian smiled. The Queen cursed. Several hours, several chests of Arryn gold and several highborn Vale hostages later, and the Knights of the Vale were on their way northwest to the lands of the north and its new flint kings. Davos, Estian and all the other lords and knights of Andalia had had their orders directly from King Ambrose. Let the flints and falcons fight amongst themselves for what remained of the north, whilst the young wolf pup waited in Sevensport beneath the Red Star, ready to devour what remained of the victor.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Citadel with me, Grand Maester Stitch, where we're carrying on with the Knights of the North. We're returning to Andalia as King Ambrose Sevenstar. And in the last episode, we took the neck from the north. Well, we didn't actually take it from the north because they sort of went independent, not getting involved in the Flint and Vale War. So we decided to swoop in and take what remains of the neck. And as we learned from the introduction there, we have the Vale army marching up into the north through Andalia to attack the Flints of the north, and we are going to let those two fight it out against each other. And then when they're both weakened, whichever one is the victor, we then have in our custody the Stark heir of the north, as well as all of his siblings apart from one. So then we will press his claim on Winterfell to reinstate the Starks in the north, but then they will be pretty much our puppet state. We can use them to our advantage with the alliances that we have formed, and the north will then be a close friend, finally giving us the option to expand southward into the rivers and hills and the mountain and vale. We do need to disband our men, but if I remember rightly, we had to wait till the war had finished properly so that we could disband them without losing all of our troops. This is our only area of men left. Jared accepted King Theomore of the Rivers and Hills peace offer. Okay, so one of the rebellions down there has ended. I do have 2 new custom characters for this episode, so we'll get straight on and introduce those. Where are they? Now, we've got to the point now where we're pretty much at the last bookmark, so I can't create characters in the same way as I did before. It's the same as in the Grand series, if you remember rightly, because we've reached the last bookmark. I can't create your characters without creating them really old. So instead now we'll invite courtiers and then we edit them to match the characters that you guys create for the series. So there's 2, I believe, for this week's episode. So let's just jump in and find those if I can find them. They're in our court somewhere, as I've already sorted them both out. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? They're probably near the bottom somewhere by the looks of it. Yes, here we go. We've got Clay Anvil, who is a master blacksmith and swordsmith who has come to Andalia. So he's a pretty decent commander, as you can see. Trickster, aggressive leader, a defender, a knight, a trained fighter, rude, temperate and selfish. And we have the nice black and silver sword on a black and silver background. And then our next custom character for this week is Roose Dreadwolf, who is a Stark and Bolton bastard. We've got a nice black wolf on a red background. I did want to use the Bolton colours with the wolf, but unfortunately, for some reason, you can't really use the pinks that the Boltons have in the sigil. So we've gone for the black wolf on red instead. And he is an elusive shadow. He's scarred. He's shrewd, attractive, a legitimized bastard, a torturer, a master seducer, a master schemer. He's shy, rude, lustful, ruthless, cynical, deceitful, content, and trusting. Now, I added content and trusting just to bring that intrigue down a little bit because he was a little bit overpowered with that intrigue and it was a bit scary, and we don't want him going around killing all of our courtiers, especially with him having a different religion. I have sorted out marriages for both of those, so hopefully now he won't go around killing everybody. But yes, here we go. Let's jump in. We need to wait for this to end so that we can there we go, we can now disband our men. So we've got a few things to sort out before we jump into the episode. Obviously, we now have the Reeds as a new courtier, and you're in there fabricating claims, so you don't need to be doing that anymore. So we'll send you to fabricate claims on... Well, what do we fabricate claims on now? Let's try and get some of these northern Vale lands to get claims on them. We are bordering them now, and we did want to get around the mouth of the Bight. So yeah, let's fabricate a claim on that. But yeah, as I was saying, the Lord of the Neck, we need to transfer the vassalage of Lord Bowen of Silverreed to you, so that will keep you on side by doing so. We need a new commander of Andalia because of that, so let's have a look what we've got. Who are our best commanders available? We've got Roderick Snowfall, he's pretty decent, we might have to go for him. We've got Oswin Steelheart as well, who's pretty decent, but he has more commanding traits, so we'll go for Roderick Snowfall for now. And then another thing we need to do is, obviously up in Greyhold, we built the new city of Wolfsborough, sorry, so we need to transfer, and John Whitetree we put in charge of that, so we need to now transfer the vassalage of John Whitetree, the Master of Wolfsborough, to Greyhold, which will... Well, Brandon will love us either way because he's our best friend, but yeah, it belongs to him. Now, did we finish the castle in High Point? I'm pretty sure that we did. No, it might not have been High Point. Was it Wolf's Watch where we built a castle? We built one somewhere. Yes, Castle of Deepcroft. Now, I think we need to transfer the vassalage of that. Did we give that castle to anyone? Let's just have a quick look in our vassals. Castle of Deepcroft. I'm sure that's the one that we did give away. Yes, to Benjamin Durry, Sir of Deepcroft. Right, yes, so we need to Was it in High Point? Castle City of Whitewood, or was it in Wolf's Watch? Wolf's Watch. No, High Point. Castle of Deepcroft. Right, so yes. Transfer vassalage of Benjamin Durry up into High Point. There we go. So that means we do now need another commander, as we've lost that commander, and we need a new Swan Shield. That's the only problem when you send them away. It's annoying that you can't use them, but never mind. For another commander, who have we got? Got Barry and Swanson, Oswin Steelheart. We'll probably go with Barry and Swanson because he's a flanker and he leads from the rear, and they've got the same marshal. But then again, we do have... Yeah, we'll go with Barry and Swanson. And then I think we need a new a new bodyguard as well because of that. Oh, who do we go with for our bodyguard, though? Yeah, let's go for Vermith or Shycross. Why not? He'd make a good bodyguard. We know we can trust him. There we go. Right, now we can unpause and let things tick along. Here we go. We've got the Vale marching up north. We did get a nice little bit of money off the Vale. Just like give it as an excuse, really, just to give us a bit of cash. And I use that just to upgrade a couple of the holdings in Sevenstar. May live in harmony and contentment. I accept your suggestion that Sir Clay and Miranda get married. Perfect. Finding marriages, obviously, for our new courtiers. And something I did realise is that in Redfort, the Lady of... Redfort, or the lady of the castle next to Redfort, it might have been, who is married to the Blue Stars. So they're now the heirs of a castle down there, which is pretty interesting. And Lord Theon of the Strangers Hills has accepted the marriage between Roose Dreadwolf and Lyanna Stout. That's good. That arranges another marriage for us. We'll just forward things along. We want to let ourselves recover. We'll get our claims. We'll see how the Vale and the Flint war plays out, which is going to be interesting. The Flint's also getting invaded by, yes, by a Andal invasion by the looks of it. So, be interested to see what happens there. I'm getting a bit annoyed with these Andal invasions. We shouldn't be getting them anymore, really, but you can't really switch them off, considering there is nowhere but the coastlands and the Silver Eyes who run that. There shouldn't be any more Andal invasions, but we're constantly getting them still. But do we own half the north now? Maybe just less than half the north, but we own a hell of a lot of it for sure. But I think the Vale will win this war. I think they're definitely going to win this war. But either way, we'll press the claim of the Starks on the victor of this war anyway. Be interesting to see what the Vale do with the north. Will they grant Winterfell to Aaron Lord, or is it currently winter as well? Yes, it's a mild winter, so that is going to affect the Vale soldiers a hell of a lot coming north. They're not going to be able to cope with that winter, but the Flints have now just been crushed by that Andal host, so it's only going to be a matter of time before the Vale do take the north. Well, what remains of the north. And the Muds, if you can remember, also had to move in the last episode up to Mistlewood, as Oldstone was taken by House Oaks, whoever they are. Battle after battle, siege after siege. My friend, Lord Criston, who's this, Lord Criston of the Coastlands, must be pretty tired of war. Maybe I could offer to help him in some way. My troops could use the exercise. We'll join Lord Criston Cole in Coastland in the defensive wars. Who is he fighting? Because if he's fighting some Valyrians, I am not getting involved with that. Defending against... Oh, a slave raid. Some gold should help my friend win the war. Send 26 gold. My friend has every... Yeah, we'll just send him a little bit of gold just to keep him as a friend. We don't really want to lose that friendship there. I don't really think we have any guardianships or anything to sort out. We, at the moment, I don't know if to find a new match for our brother Lionel. I know that he is gay, but he's only got the one daughter. It would be interesting if we could get him to have a few more daughters, so we could look for a match, maybe another Vale house. What about the Coldwaters, who are around the north end of the Vale? It would be interesting if we could get them on side, but unfortunately it looks like there isn't really any matches there. He's only a young lord, his parents died. He does have an aunt, Ranella Coldwater, but she's married. What other old Vale houses do we have in the north? We have the Belmores, but Okay, Rosalind Belmore, 33. She is married, though. So, no, the Belmores. We're already linked with the Corburys. Do we have anyone else around here that could be a good match? The Royces are a bit too far south, so I don't really want to do that. Could go for a Riverland house. We do have the Jossos of the Crossfort. The Malisters aren't... Oh, the Malisters will be in Seaguard. Yes, the Malisters are around. They're still old gods as well, and they're in their independent Seaguard kingdom now. Who else do we have up here? Random house. Random house. Viperin, but old god, so no. The Bracken. Oh no, the Brackens aren't actually there. The Viperins own the Blackwood, which is interesting. What about the Vances? No, they're not actually there, and they're a bit too far south. Okay, so there's a lot of random houses. Muton, House Muton, old god still. Okay, interesting. So yeah, we're not going to be getting involved with anyone down there. We'll just pick a random match for Lionel then, just to see if we can try and get ourselves a couple more male 7-stars, as we don't have a great deal of them. There's tons of female 7-stars, but not many males anymore. Not in the red branch anyway. And conditions are worsening in 7 Sport. Here we go. We have Hostella of Ashmark. She'll do. So yeah, the winter cold is bad, but the Flints have no men to repel the Arons anyway. But if it wasn't for that... Okay, my liege, my working Crows Baron seems to have come to fruition. By bribing, cajoling, extorting, threatening and forging documents, I have managed to fabricate a claim on the lordship of Crows Baron. Use it, of course use it. Yes, definitely. And we can't even call you back yet that you got that... claim so quickly. So the magnificent King Ambrose, best upon you and your house. I accept the suggestion that Prince Lionel and Hostella get married. Hopefully Lionel will now give us some more 7-star male heirs. Lord Lucamore of the Bay of Crabs has usurped the title Lordship of Butterwell from Sir John of Shoreham. Okay. Just got to wait until we can call him back. When can we call you back? On the 19th of the 3rd moon. So pretty soon. Pretty soon. That's not too bad then. At least we can get you back here pretty soon. Whilst we wait for that, what else do we... Right, so the capital of the north is now under siege. They're losing 15% to the Vale. And they're losing 48% to the Andal invasion. And they're also defending against the Skagosa, who are probably going to go for independence, or they're probably going to overthrow the Flints. The north is a complete mess. We probably will swoop in and take it all at some point. But if we get our Starks in power, we're not going to need to do that. It all depends how things will go. Okay, some people died. Right, here we go. Now we can send you to fabricate a claim on Scorched Vale. It would be really good to have all of this border here and get the bite. And we've got the mountains as defense so that we can keep hold of them. The Vale look like they're going to win pretty quickly. It's not going to take them very long at all. At the age of 51, your subject, Walder Bolton, died of depression. Now, that wouldn't have anything to do with being uppercutted in the bollocks, would it, in the last episode? But obviously he doesn't have his regent anymore anyways. He's 18, young Lord Theon Bolton, but he is stressed. They have had a daughter, Illyria Bolton, who is obviously half 7-star. It'd be interesting when we do get the Stark and 7-star blood mixing together. We could have House 7 Stark, which I know some of you thought would be a really cool house. It would be interesting. It's a shame that you can't mess around with the sigils a little bit more and have like a wolf's head inside the 7-pointed stars. That would be really cool. Florian of Florian's Vance Host has declared Florian Vance Host invasion on Wayfarer's Rest on King Theomore of the Rivers and Hills. I'm getting really fed up with these Andal invasions. Right, I'm going to forward things along a little bit and see what we can get to happen. Lord Lister of the Fingers has inherited High Lordship of the Fingers and other titles, so that's good because he is the one that is married to our niece, so that is great news. So we have now probably an even better alliance. We do need to reform the alliance though, but he's going to accept straight away, which is great. Is he the last living member of House Corbury? It looks like he may be, as his... Yes, he is indeed, so that's not good. They do have a daughter who is the heir of Corbett, and she is half 7-star. Wow, and she is attractive and quick. Now that is a very good child. We'll keep you as an interesting character because you're very impressive, and then you obviously have your half-brother who is also quick and a Roseheart. Wow. Lady Alice seems to be quite the bride. The Lady of the Fingers. She's also the Justicer of the Fingers as well. And look at that Marshal. She should be like the Master at Arms. And she is breastfeeding child. Minus 10 fertility. But yeah, she's pretty decent, our niece there. So hopefully she will produce some male Corbury heirs. We could really do with them just to get the Corburies on side, and Lord Lister has accepted our proposal for an alliance, which is great. Hopefully we can get them to swear fealty to us, the Corburies, along with the Jossos of the Crossfoot as well. Considering we already have Jossos under our control, we can offer him a non-aggression pact, but he's not willing to do that. Under my guidance, my young friend Donald is slowly mastering the art of swordsmanship. Donald Stark becomes a skilled fighter. Awesome. And I think he's around the same age as Engar, our son. Oh no, he's 4 years older than Engar, but Engar's getting a lot of childhood traits now, so it'll be interesting to see how he develops. And he is betrothed to Donald Stark's sister anyway. And this Stark does have ice in his treasury, which is impressive. Another Valyrian steel sword in Andalia. I think it's about time anyway for the mid POV, so let's jump into that.
The council room of Goldenfield was witnessing a hustle that it had not seen in many years, not since the first war of King Ambrose's reign. Damien only wished that this was for merriment. Geralt was amazed at the number of important people in the room. Not only were the Shycrosses here, but also the Racks, led by the Master of Coin as well as Lord Harco. He looked at the room decorated with Shycross banners, as well as some Valyrian artefacts. Geralt never spoke to any of these people, and as he was only recently landed, he waited for a more prominent lord to speak first. Estion approached Geralt, flanked by his brothers Kellis and Geoffrey. He extends a hand. "My Lord Mendleton, it is good to see that you have finally been given your long overdue reward." Argos seemed nervous. It was the first time he sat an audience with high-ranking officials. He scribbled his papers in hand. His testimony, he would say in that meeting. He would rush to take a seat in the dark room lit by candles and torches. As the lords and merchants mull about, the doors of the council chamber close, and Lord Damien rises shakily to his feet. "The council meeting is now in order. Take your seats, sirs." Medric would take a seat. He looked around in disgust. Back in Engar's day, he would not have to deal with free slavers and savages. He would bring greatness back to his guild. Damien seats himself in a specially cushioned seat, grunting at his weak estate. "I am under the idea that you are all aware why you are here this day. Would I be correct in assuming such?" Medric stands. "I am Medric Hardvice, and I lead the trading guild of the Andals. We have always been loyal to the Sevenstar since the early days of King Engar. Now these Valyrians and savages try to take away our trade. Even that we have to meet in a Valyrian castle is a disgrace, with someone like Lord Firehand having to take that abomination under his wing." Edric slams his fist on the table. "You be quiet. I made that choice and I have never regretted it. One more bad word about Sir Vermithor and I will make sure it's your last." Tomahar Sturgeon pushes the Andal down into his chair as he stands with a bright smile. "Come now, good men. I hardly think now is the time to squabble. We are here to make conversation, yes?" Lord Damien is visibly clenching the arms of his seat but curtly nods. "Now tell me, what is it that the merchant classes desire as a whole?" Argos would cough, a bit shaken but ready to make his speech in front of the merchants. He managed his papers and put them on the table. He needed to convince them all or else his small business would go downhill. "Lords and merchants of Andalia, my name is Argos. I sell the Andalian natural goods in Sevensport. In the recent years I have noticed that King Ambrose has been favouring the foreign merchants rather than the native ones that are also being discriminated against in their markets, which lowers our buyers, and it is truly saddening. I do although understand that the foreign merchants bring in more money than us, but I feel we should get the same favourings as the foreigners. My people have been here in these lands for 1,000 years. We know how to extract the Andalia resources and use them at their fullest." Argos felt good about his small speech. He thought he did a good job. Hardvice and Solden visibly roll their eyes at this speech and the others respectfully contemplate. "I see. Thank you for speaking your piece, sir." Damien strokes his beard in thought. "Anyone else?" Eugenio clears his throat. "My lords, thank you for allowing us to have a meeting. It has been quite some time since Lys and Andalia had a prosperous relationship. My colleagues are all very satisfied on how things are going on, and we would like to pursue such relationship." "Go on, sir. You need not stop there," Don Chino states, his arm on the top of his father's seat. Eugenio then continues. "We want to establish a stronger relationship by buying more products and allowing more trade to flow between Andalia and Lys." Before Damien can give an answer, Medric stands again. "And next you will have the freehold at our doorstep. If we allow these Valyrians to have too much influence, then Andalia will fall." Estion contemplates all the different proposals presented and takes a small drink of wine. "The Crown currently wants to extend our foreign trade, but we are not willing to compromise our own trade without reasonable compensation. What are we to gain from allowing more trade to our shores?" To this, Sturgeon removes a parchment from his coat pocket and begins to read off a list. "More revenue, potential marriage alliances, prestige and more." Argos would raise his head to speak once more. "My lord, you don't seem to understand. If the crown expands even more to foreign merchants, the local ones would be overshadowed, and considering the foreigners have the backing of the Valyrian Empire, it would be much more appreciated if the native merchants may have at least some sort of backing by the crown." Medric nods in agreement with the savage. For once they were on the same page. All eyes turned to Damien. He has been quiet for some time. "I understand your fears, good sirs, but if we entirely cut off trade with the free cities, we will be left quite dry economically. Unless you expect sand-swept dawn in the impoverished Stormlands to pick up the pace for them. I do not wish the complete cutting off of ties with the free cities, but what I wish for is the lowering of foreign merchant influence, and more help from the crown, as this lack of help is killing my trade, and it certainly wouldn't look good for the small folk if Ambrose completely abandons the native merchants." Geralt clears his throat. "If need be, I can help. I may have been exiled, but I still have a lot of contacts amongst the old blood of Volantis, especially within the family of one of the Triarchs. Andalia does not accept just anyone that wants to do business with us. We do this for a reason. We trust ourselves more than those we left behind in Essos. My first wife was Valyrian, and it was both a blessing and a curse to my family. Now you expect more of us. I know the freehold desires to get their money changers and influence peddlers into our realm." Estienne stands from his chair. "We want to trade with all, it's true, and this guiding principle has caused us to flourish, but at a price. We know our firstmen and Andor merchants wish to have their wares present in the markets of Essos, but this is not allowed. You want our ports open while yours remain closed." Estienne paces around to Damien. "I have always valued your counsel, my brother. We need at least some concessions from those wishing to supplement our home trade." Damien nods solemnly. "My lords and sirs, I suggest a compromise." They all lean in slightly to listen. "We will keep trade with the outside world available. However, we will need to establish an official council of merchants to discuss issues both personal and economic, as well as needing a statute of laws that all merchants, royal subjects or otherwise, must abide to while on Andalian soil." The old dragon of Goldenfield sips his Dornish red before staring at the four merchants, clearly showing the old flame hasn't gone out yet. "Is that agreement sufficient?" Eugenio strokes his silver beard and whispers something in the ears of one of his colleagues. The man nods and replies in Valyrian. After several minutes, Eugenio turns towards Damien and replies, "A council could be the way forward, yes, but we need to have guarantee that all our cartels will be on equal foot. We will only agree if Andalia shows fairness for all the groups." "You have my word," states Damien Shycross. Okay, here we are. "Greetings, your grace. I have a proposition which I'm sure won't fail to catch your keen attention. Simply put, a new title for you and coin for us. We need the coin owed to the Bank of Valyria by Rowena Arryn, and I'm sure you can pay. Isn't it a fair deal? Alright, I'll win Mountain and Vale and you'll have your coin." Right, so we gain 185 gold, and King Ambrose 7 of Andalia takes a loan from the Bank of Valyria. If King Ambrose successfully takes Mountain and Vale from Rowena Arryn, he will take on the debt of 370 gold owed. This is an additional to the initial loan. Ooh, no, it's not my debt. I'm not getting involved with that, and we don't want to take the Mountain and Vale that quickly either. We'll stay out of it for now. We've already got our own plans in place, so... Oh no! Lord Owen of Greycliffs has inherited High Lordship of Greycliffs and other titles from Lord Brandon the Learned, our good close friend. Lord Brandon has died of cancer at the age of 46. Now that's devastating. But he does leave his male heir behind. But that is a great character, one of the best characters in the series, now passed away. We're losing a lot of these characters lately. "Your Grace, I, Joe Arak, sincerely ask that I be allowed to pursue a career at the Citadel in Old Town." You're the heir, aren't you? So, no. I don't think so. You have purpose yet. You're not going anywhere. But, yep, so now we have Owen, and wow, what's he been up to? He's heavily wounded by the looks of it, but he's the new Lord of the Grey Cliffs, formidable fighter, quick, green dreams, and he is obviously married to our oldest daughter, who needs to hurry up and give him some heirs. We really need to get some more Greystocks about what's this plot. Your wisdom and mercy are legendary. We would like you to back our plot to replace Sir John. No, I'm not getting involved. I've told you if you can do it yourself, that's fine, but I'm not getting involved with that in the slightest. Let's just keep forwarding things along. Robar Capo died. Morgan Bolton was born stillborn. Oh, that's a shame. That would have been the male heir to the Dreadfort, who would have been half Sevenstar, and he was born with the attractive trait as well. That's a real shame. Again, a lot of stillborns in the episodes lately. How are the Vale doing now? They are only 18% in favour still, so they're taking their time. But we're continuing to get our claims, so we'll happily do that while the Vale are busy and away.
And then when they're weak, we can press those claims, and we can also press the Stark claim as well. And now we've got another host invading the Riverlands. They really do not back down. Who is this? Mega of Grindel's host. And he has 13,000 men. The poor muds can't catch a break. And also, my liege, my work in Scorched Vale seems to have come to fruition. By bribing, cajoling, extorting, threatening, and forging documents, I have managed to fabricate a claim on the lordship of Scorched Vale. Use it. Wow, Owen, you are being very impressive this episode. You're literally getting all the claims. Right, what do we go for next? That is Wycliffe under the Corbury land. What is the High Lordship? Okay, so Wycliffe isn't actually in the Corbury land, but the two islands are by the looks of it. So we'll go for Wycliffe, and we'll leave the islands because they're already under House Corbury. We don't want to upset Corbury, so we'll just go for Wycliffe. House Waddingham. Okay, whoever they are. Right, so let's go and fabricate a claim on that bit, and then we'll probably press that claim and take those 3 provinces just to get that northern border and the Corburys as our alliance. So we'll have the northern border, the 2 islands, and all of the fingers on our side. And then we'll have 3 provinces who have all got random houses in, I believe. So that means we can land 3 of our own houses in those lands, which is awesome. So yeah, we'll wait for that claim to be fabricated. My King Ambrose, after listening to the advice of a group of my bannermen led by Marrick Crescent of Lunar Woods, I hereby decree that the succession to the Marrick Crescent shall be determined by primogeniture. Ronessa Greystock shall henceforth be my heir. Well, yeah, that's because you don't have a child, so that would have been the case anyway, surely. Or would it have gone to the Stark? Ah, yes, maybe it would have gone passed on to your Stark cousins. Okay, what's going on with the Wolfswood? Attacking King Lawrence the North in war against the tyranny of King Lawrence. Okay, so the Glovers are rising up. That means we could actually go for an invasion of the Wolfswood, but I'm not sure I want to do that, to be honest. It's not the right time. Or do we want to do that? We probably won't have another chance of doing it for a while, but I don't know if I really want to do that right now. We've already got our eye on the Vale. I don't like taking too much stuff too soon in this because it sort of ruins the story and the plot moving forward. So I think we'll leave the Wolfswood for now. But I've just noticed, does that mean that we can actually declare war on Deep Down? No, we can't. We can't declare war on her. Or can we? No, only to invade the north. So yeah, we'll leave that for now. We'll carry on getting our claims on the Vale. That's where we're concentrating on. We've got all the decent northern land. We want to get some of this nice southern land now and really control the Bight. How are the Vale not won this war yet? They should be absolutely steamrolling this war. They're only at 21% war score. It's probably because they've not actually entered in a battle yet with the Flints. That's probably why. Do we have any plots or such to worry about against us? I don't think so. Not by the looks of it. No, we're all good. We're all good. What's happened to our plot to free the Stark girl? Right, let's have a look. Because we had a plot going to free Donald. Was it Winfred Stark, or is she the one imprisoned by us? No, she's imprisoned by us, so it must have been one of the other's children. Yes, Sarah Stark, Sworn Shield. It was you. You was supposed to be in our court. There we go. Invite to court. We need to get you into our custody. And wow, you're 16 and unmarried, so, and you want to get married, right? So we need to get you in our court quickly and get a marriage for you. Garibold Silvereye has expressed a desire to get married. Could we marry him to the Stark girl? I'm not sure. I don't think he'd want to get married matrimonially, to be honest. Marry as you please. Who did he marry? Okay, some random Andal Northman. But hopefully we'll get that Stark girl into our custody very quickly now. You're great. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Right. Sarah Stark. Wow, she's pretty decent. Right, who do we have that we can arrange a marriage for with you? We must have someone. We have Cregan, Sir Cregan, our ward, and we have Sir Kenneth Brune. What about arrange a betrothal? If we arrange a betrothal with you, we probably have even more people. You're only 16. We've probably got some close to that age, and no, we haven't. Who could we marry to you? We already have your brother in our custody. She's got a strong claim on Winterfell, of course. Let's arrange a marriage between you, and we'll go for Craig in our court here, which you won't accept, but if we do it match and only and marry you to our ward, let's do that. Why not? He gets to be married to a high lord, a princess. At the age of 57, your bannerman Lord Damon of Longsister died from too much drinking. My young ward has finished his education in military strategy and command. It seems he has learned all the basic skills required. He is now a dutiful commander, but he's a poor fighter. Can we knight him? Not yet. He's not old enough, but... Oh, is he married? Has he married her already? Yes, they're already married to Sarah Stark. That's perfect. Let's make her important. Oh, we already have, just so we can keep an eye on her. So it looks like either way, whatever happens in the north, the Flints are going to be took down, either by the Glovers or by the Vale. But it'd be interesting to see what the Glovers do. Will they stay independent from the Vale if the Vale take the north, or will they also be under the Vale? Be interesting to see what happens. Will they want to put a Stark back in power, as they did have a Stark ward, and they're obviously still very loyal to the Starks. King Ambrose Sevenstar, I hereby invite you to participate in the tourney at Black Sheep Hills. Chance to prove my worth, why not? Yeah, we'll go along. Been a while since we've entered a tourney. We are now fat, a drunkard, and gluttonous, so I don't know how well we'll do in the tourney. Probably a high chance we could get unhorsed and killed, but young Davos loves doing things his own way and often takes it personally and gets angry when others offer opinions. I should help guide him in the right direction, becomes diligent. He is a busy soul just like me, loses a trait fussy, gains paranoid. No, we'll go with the top one, and he becomes diligent. Diligent's a very good trait to have, so that's good for the future heir. Tourney of Black Sheep Hills. After arriving in Black Sheep Hills, the first day of the tourney began in earnest. You tilted against many lesser knights throughout the day, most of whom you unhorsed easily. Now in the coming days, the final rounds of the list begin, and the opposition shall surely be more fierce. I shall ready my horse. The tourney herald announces the competitors of the next joust. You have been drawn against Sir Gorgon Hagtree. Okay, who are you, Sir Gorgon Hagtree? Can we change your thing? Because that's a pretty cool name. Who are you? So you're... Whose custody are you in? Sir Garibold, who's he? And his liege is... Okay, what the hell? Where the hell did you come from? Okay, steady our horse and let's go for it. As you close in on your opponent, you see an opening. You deftly guide your lance to strike while evading their charge hit. You expertly struck Sir Gorgon with your lance right in the middle of his breastplate, causing your lance to shatter into 1,000 pieces. As he is sent flying from the saddle, the crowd gives a great cheer at your victory and is relieved to see Sir Gorgon is unharmed. A fine hit, I must say. It was Sir Carlin Gullet and Sir Kellis of Mousewatch turn to joust in the list. Sir Kellis won soundly in the final tilt. Sir Carlin was sent flying from his saddle in a hail of shattered lance pieces. He landed with a sickening crunch, clearly grievously injured. Okay, he's no one important, so that's okay. At least it's not an important character. You have been declared the winner, defeating Sir Gorgon Hagtree. No one can beat me. We'll get the prestige for that. Under my guidance, my young ward Wenfred is slowly mastering the art of swordmanship. Wenfred Stark. Okay, she's now a poor fighter. The tourney herald announces the competitors of the next joust. You have been drawn against Sir Kellis of Mousewatch. Wasn't that the one who just got hurt? So hopefully we should be okay. As you close in on your opponent, you see an opening. You deftly guide your lance in and strike whilst evading their charge. Hit. You expertly struck Sir Kellis with your lance right in the middle of his breastplate, causing your lance to shatter into 1,000 pieces. Awesome, so we're through to the next round again. The tourney herald announces the competitor of the next joust. You have been drawn against Sir Kenneth Baroon. Okay, interesting. Let's see how we get on against him. Is he a giant? Yes, he is. Okay. And diligent. He's got some decent traits. We should probably make use of this guy. Have I made him important yet? No, I haven't. Let's make him important. We could give him some land. We could have a Northern Broon and a Northern Rosbear. As you close in on your opponent, you see an opening. You deftly guard your lance in to strike whilst evading their charge. Hit. Sir Kenneth Broom took the full force of your lance and was sent reeling and only managed to glancing blow upon your armour. He almost fell. I didn't fall off. Next time. Next time. As you close in on your opponent, you see an opening. You deftly guide your lance in and strike. Okay, so Lord Fian of the Stranger's Hills decided to exile Willa Cassell. Who's Wyla Cassell? She's got cancer, zealous. Okay, so she is actually a member of House Cassell, and for whatever reason she's been banished. She's a twin. Okay, can we invite her to court? No. Interesting. Let's go on to the next round of the tournament. You expertly struck Sir Kenneth with your lance right into the middle of his breastplate, causing your lance to shatter into 1,000 pieces. He is sent flying from the saddle. Awesome, so we're through again. You have been declared the winner, defeating Sir Kenneth Broom in the fine joust. Wow, we could actually win our first tournament. Sir Norbert Sevenstar and Sir Alarion Darkblade were to next to joust in the list. After many tilts and broken lances, Sir Alarion was eventually unhorsed, leaving Sir Norbert to be declared the winner. Sir Norbert Sevenstar, is he the Lord? No, he's not the Lord of Maiden's Gate, is he? One of the younger brothers. Is he the brother to Lister Sevenstar, our bodyguard? I think he may be. Sir Alarion Darkblade and... Okay, we've already seen that one. The Tawny Herald announces the competitor of the next joust. You've been drawn against Sir Alarion Darkblade. You mount your charge, take a lance from your squire and ride to the end of the lists. You close in on your opponent, you see an opening. You deftly guard your lance into strike while evading their charge. Sir Alarion Darkblade took the full force of your lance and was sent reeling and only managed a glancing blow upon your armour. He almost fell off but managed to regain his balance. Your opponent got the better of you when you met in the centre of the list. Your lance merely makes a glancing blow on their armour whilst their lance hits true. Sir Alarion Darkblade's lance strikes you square in the middle of the breastplate. Exploding into many pieces, it hits you. The force knocks the wind out of you and sends you flying from your horse. Damn it! I thought we was going to actually win a tourney. I only reached the semi-finals of this tourney, having been finally knocked off my horse by a superior jouster. Though my glory is lessened this day, I can still claim a purse for reaching the final rounds. 10 gold, 10 prestige. Sir Alarion Darkblade has been declared the winner, defeating you and eliminating you from the tourney. See who he faces in the final. After many tilts, they've already faced each other. Okay, only 2 knights remained. They faced each other in the final joust. After many tilts, finally executed jousting. Sir Alarion was unhorsed, leaving Sir Norbert to be declared the winner of the tourney. Even though I thought I don't know, that tourney went a little bit weird, I think. Oh wow, my liege, my work in Wycliffe seems to have come to fruition. By bribing, cajoling, extorting, threatening and forging documents, I have managed to fabricate a claim on the lordship of Wycliffe. Use it. Awesome. So what do we go for next? He's getting claims left, right and centre this episode. Where do we go for next? We've got New Keep, House Jorwalk. I don't really want to go too far south into the Vale. We could go for Coldwater and get House Coldwater under our control, who are a noble house, so that would be pretty interesting. Or we could go for some of the Riverlands just to try and get this land here. We could go for the Northlands, or we could get the Crossing under our command as well. Where should we try and fabricate the next claim? Or we could try and expand further into the north. But I don't know if I want to carry on going in the north. I want to carry on with the Vale for now. So let's fabricate a claim on Coldwater Burn and get the Coldwaters under our control for now, shall we? And we'll forward things on a little bit. Lord Estienrack has been a loyal and able servant, having successfully completed many tasks in the aid of Andalia. Yeah, agreed, we'll send him some gold, which spends a lot of our gold. Your friend, Lord Christian Silverhigh, has been captured by Lord Master Dorelos Larnell of Nakus Embar and taken to Nakus Embar as prisoner. Okay, that's not good. And at the age of 18, your acquaintance King Theomar of the Rivers and Hills was murdered on the orders of Lord Robin of the Trident. Okay, so who's the Mud King now? It's a young boy, King Jonas Mud. Is he half Stark? I think his grandmother was Stark, actually, wasn't it? A son was born to Lister Sevenstar and Emma Sunday. Is that his wife? Yes, okay, so we've got Oliver Sevenstar. Awesome. Another blue star. We need more male red stars. Or green stars. There's only the 2 green stars. King Jonas of the Trident declared Riverlander Shoreham de Jour War. Okay. So stuff's kicking off down south. The Vale still hasn't managed to win this war. Everyone is now at war with the Flints. So it doesn't look like their kingship over the north is going to last very long by the looks of it. They're getting absolutely slaughtered left, right and centre by everybody in the north. We need to get our gold back on track. I don't know who you are that's just died, so I don't really know why it's telling us. I've got no idea who you are. We'll wait for that claim, and I think we'll probably press those claims then. Once we're not bankrupt, of course, and try and force our way into the Vale. We probably do need to take the Josso lands. Lord Bowen of Silvery has declared Lord Bowen of Silvery's war for Greywater Watch on Lady Lyanna of the Neck. Okay. Can we get you to end this war, please? Do it. Your Grace, I would of course obey. Okay, awesome. So at least we managed to stop that. We don't want a civil war. Thank you very much. House Fen, behave yourselves. The Reeds are your overlords. They always have been. So you must accept that for now. I just want to get at least the Vale War over with before the end of this episode. Owen Greystart brought a favour from Jared. Okay. Just keep forwarding things along for now. Your ward offers his service as a squire, Davos Redguard. Why not? A squire can't hurt, of course. That's a point. Our other ward, who will be in our court, can we knight him? Yeah, it would be nice to give the young lord a knightship. There he is. Cregan. No, we can't grant him a knighthood. Oh, he's already a knight. We must have already done it then. I can't remember doing it. Maybe he just gets it at the end of his squireship. Okay, betrothed can marry Joa Rack and Barbary Bolton. Yes, send. Let's get those two married and get some more racks in the world. Lady Milena of Bay of Crabs has used out the title High Lordship of the Bay of Crabs. Okay, doesn't really concern us that much though, does it? May you live in harmony and contentment. I accept your suggestion that Joa and Barbary get married. Perfect. Lord Edric Firehand has been a Leo and able servant, having successfully completed many tasks in the aid of Andalia. Oh god, these constantly pop up. Agreed, we'll give him some gold. No wonder we're always bankrupt and we can't save money. We get about 5 of those an episode. Sure, I forgot about my promise to take Roland riding, but now he poured water on me when I was resting. I only had a little bit to drink and I am the king. Who's Roland? Roland Hook. I'll show him. Has a higher chance to gain brooded and timid. I'm sorry, Roland. Yep, I'll show him. I have a bad headache and my episode with Roland is slowly coming back to me. There is no excuse for my behaviour. What's worse is that I got lectured by a child. I've seen better days. Okay, interesting. How has the Vale not yet won this war? Hang on a minute, where's the Vale, Knights of the Vale gone? They've just disappeared. They're 35% in favour, but then a lot of the other people, the Wolfswood Independence War and such, are winning by miles. They've literally got, wow, a lot of people attacking them. Another invasion, again, which is just constant at the minute. A daughter was born to Roose Dreadwolf and Lyanna Stout, named Ariana Dreadwolf. Awesome. She's attractive and a twin. Awesome. So he had 2 daughters, which is nice. Who's the other one? Bethany Dreadwolf, who is strong and attractive. Very nice. Let's make her important. And her sister, who was born sickly. Hopefully she doesn't die. Who are you? Laura Ratalak arrived at your court. Who the hell are you? And then she died. She vanished without a trace. Okay. Gets so random when stuff like that happens. Mela Roseheart died of severe stress. Okay. Wow, she had a lot of children before she died, though. I've gotten an increased amount of questions from Winfred lately about the gods and the rituals of the Faith of the Seven. Time to teach her about the gods. No, we'll leave her as the old gods for now. I don't want to go around converting all the starts. Princess Violet has voted against absolute rule due to returning a favour to Lord Arlen. Okay. A daughter was born to Sir Cregan and Sarah Stark, named Jane Stark. Perfect. Another Stark. Very interesting. Let's forward things along. During the past few months, Winfred has showed dogged determination in her studies of our language, and now also expressed a desire to study the history of my people and ancestors. I should encourage it. She becomes Andal Northman. Make sure she learns about her own customs. We don't really want her to become Andal Northman. She's a Northman. It's too soon for that. Maybe in a couple of generations. Where has the Vale army disappeared to? Donald has developed a habit for wild parties. Donald Starr. There is nothing I can do. He gains the trait charitable and maybe lustful. Yeah, we'll go with that. He's gained charitable, decent trait. It's not too bad. Skilled fighter as well still, which is awesome. He could be a Northman knight. Can you knight first men? I think you can, can't you? Under certain circumstances. Edom of the First Man Liberation Revolt has declared liberation of the Trident on King Jonas of the Trident. You report from Sevenstar that his charity work on your behalf is proceeding well. The poor have been fed and your pious standing has improved. Gain 15 piety. Perfect. I wonder how long it'll be till we get that claim on Coldwater. Probably not very long with the rate that it has been going at. The Vale is now 65% in favour with the war. I don't know if we'll get that done before the end of this episode. We'll probably wrap things up fairly soon. Under my guidance, my young ward Davos is slowly mastering the art of swordsmanship. He's become a trained fighter. Awesome. Is he the heir? Wasn't he the heir of the heir? I think he was. Of House Redguard. Davos Redguard's doing pretty well, actually, to still be kicking it around. He must be quite old. 64. Yeah, I can say he's been around a long time, Davos Redguard has. So he's doing very well to still be going. Okay, now the Vale is crushing the Glover army as well. Oh, and literally, what were we literally just saying? How old Davos was. He's literally just died of depression, and now Sir Jorin of Sevensguard. Sir Jorin Redguard is the new Lord of Sevensguard. Literally, as we just said that. And Lord Marek Crescent of the Lunar Woods died from a bad case of the flu. Let's have a look at his daughters. Melanie of Lunar Woods. So he's got 2 daughters and a bastard. Ah, okay. So she does have 2 daughters. Let's see if we can arrange a betrothal with her that's matrimonial so that they don't lose their lands. We must have somebody fit for this. Leopold Snow. We could go with Leopold Snow. He is a bastard after all. Around the same age as well. Rodwell Steelheart. Roland Hook. Yeah, we'll go with Leopold Snow. He'll be the new lord of that area. He is a bastard, so it's not going to matter too much. That's more than he could have wished for. So yeah, we'll go for that betrothal. While all this time spent outside is undoubtedly good for my health, it has not worked as well for my looks. Every night when I return home, my clothes are soiled in dirt and mud, and my hair bears the stink of wet dogs. And so what? Looks do not matter. Gains uncuff. Okay, so now we're a tramp as well as fat and smelly. Tiara Bloom has died. Okay, Lord Kristen Graff. Okay, interesting. I am sick of always being kind to everyone. Feel my wrath, loses the trait kind. Okay, so Ambrose is going through some changes in later life, it seems. May live in harmony and contentment. I've decided to accept your suggestion of the marriage. That's perfect. We already made you important, didn't we? Awesome. That's good. It'll keep the crescents around. It's going to give them some Valyrian features, which is interesting. It manages to give some honour as well to the poor bastards of Max Richard and Elena Shycross as well, which is much needed. We've got an open council position, an advisor. We'll go with Owen Greystark. Keep one of the High Lords on side. Lucas Longforbizer had an enormous flagship added to their treasury. Okay. I think, though, we will end this week's episode here, guys. So thank you all so much for watching. As always, I really do appreciate it. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And put your recommendations for characters down as well if you want to get a character in the series. And I'll try and get them in as soon as possible. Yeah, hopefully in one of the coming episodes we'll be expanding into the Mountain and Vale and seeing what happens up north with the Starks once we get the Stark Heir of Age. Thank you all so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you all next time.
Many years had passed since King Ambrose was crowned with the crown that belonged to his father Aengar. A father whom Ambrose had loved deeply and who'd left him with a very heavy legacy. Not the kingdom, but the expectations that everyone placed on him as his son. The now aging Ambrose was a shadow of his former self. The flames that fueled his youthful dreams were definitely going out. The king began to drown his sorrows in alcohol and to gain weight at an unhealthy rate. The untimely loss of his most trusted servant and best friend Brandon Greystark had left a deep and incurable crack in the heart of the king, and this led to a sharp deterioration in the mental health of Ambrose, who lately had increasingly more dark thoughts, and after one of his now usual drinks, the king dragged himself into his quarters where he passed out ruinlessly, next to his bed vomiting violently. As he fell towards the cold stone floor of his chambers, he heard his wife Queen Rennie scream for help in horror. And soon enough courtiers were there. Lister Sevenstar, being the first of the royal guard, quickly ordered the crowd to get away and to summon the Maester. That was the last thing he'd seen before blacking out. Ambrose felt dizzy and had trouble seeing the unclear surrounding around him. As he tried to move, he heard a familiar voice. Before he could place that the voice speaking to him was his father Aengar, shadows in front of him started to take the shape of many people. And before him, out of the middle of the shadows, his father Aengar first appeared. "Ambrose!" Aengar spoke with the angry tone he remembered so well. "Father, I don't understand. Be quiet, his father spoke in an angry tone, whilst his figure became more clear. Ambrose hardly noticed the other familiar shapes nearing him, but once they all got closer he could do nothing but look at them with surprise. What has become of you? Angus shouted angrily. Is this what became of my son? A drunkard drinking himself and my kingdom into an early grave? Coward, look at what you're doing to yourself. Another huge dark shadow stepped forward. Damn boy, Rogar towers over. If I'd known crying over friends would have reduced you to this, I would have tossed the Greystark from the ramparts and the cripple down a well. Rogar looked around and saw the flourishing kingdom and all he still had. Such a waste of your golden years. Brandon appeared behind Rogar out of the darkness. Why have you wasted what we all died to maintain? Edward Hooton rolled up in his chair. Ham! His face was the bright broad smile he remembered. I took things too seriously and look what became of me. He recalled all the times they shared as green boys, back before he was a king. It all seemed so simple and easy. He dreamed of going back there to those carefree days in the Hornwood, away from court and all the people wanting, needing and asking for whatever they could get out of him. Ambrose longed for the days when all he desired was reading and debate with his friends. Instead he overindulged in food and wine. Estion stood before him. I want my friend back. Rennie appeared beside him. I want my husband back. In front of both of them young Enger appeared. I want my father back. How am I supposed to learn how to rule with a father like this? Slowly all his family and friends appear. They are all weeping and Violet approaches. She is putting stones over his eyes. She is giving his eulogy. No, Ambrose panics. No, 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 not like this, no. Suddenly Ambrose awakens in the arms of Roax and Lister, with Rennie weeping nearby. His breathing is laboured and his heart is beating wildly. He can barely hear them with the pounding headache he has. He vomits once more.